did catch one.
What just happened?
Whoa!
Oh, whoa! Well, we got 3 trout in this box here. And, okay. With cleaning trout, there's 2 ways you can do it. You can gut them, or you can fillet them. Well, we got 2 13-inchers and an 18-incher, so we're gonna gut the 2 13-inchers, and then we'll fillet the 18-incher. So what you do is you cut up from the vent here. You cut all the way up to the gills, and then all you do is cut the head off right there, and then you pull all the guts out right here. When all those guts are out, there's the kidney right down in there, and some people call that the bloodline. You just kind of slice it down and run your fingernail down. It's very quick and easy. All we're going to have to do is rinse these out and they're done. So we'll do the other one quick. Up the vent. Now if you do this really, cut the head off.
Get the...
Pull out the guts. Put eggs in there and everything.
There's like 200 eggs.
Split the kidney. Fingernail up and down the kidney. That's done.
Now the big one.
Now the big one.
Yeah.
Now we're going to fillet this large one. So, right here, behind the gill plate, you cut straight, only halfway through to the bones, and then you run the top of the fish on the same side of the dorsal fin as you are along the spine. When you make that cut, you get down to the bottom here. You can just cut all the way through. And if you cut too far, you'll cut through the backbone. Then you just run your knife along the backbone and you keep making cuts, trying not to cut through it. Down at the bottom here I did, but I just have to recut and see where the bones are. The goal is not to have any bones in the fish. There is one line of pin bones in a trout, but generally they're pretty small. And then you cut through the other side there, and there's your one fillet. Then you flip your trout over and you do the same thing on the other side. The second side is a lot more difficult because you just don't have the body there to really, it's easy to cut all the way through it. So sometimes I'll go back against the bone grain. Watch yourself, buddy. Move your hand. Move your hand. You're going to get your finger cut.
His teeth poked me. That fit. That's what you learned. They cut.
Then you just kind of pull the meat away as you slice it off the ribs. The goal is not to cut through those ribs, and sometimes it's easier to cut through them. When you get a certain distance, you can just kind of pull it away. When you make that final cut, done. And that's how you fillet a trout and clean a trout. We'll just go rinse these off, and then we'll have them for dinner. So here are our fish. I rinsed them off. You want to rinse the fillets less than the whole fish because the meat will wash out. Are you excited to eat some fish,
Yeah.
Cody?
Yeah. They're rainbow.
Yep, rainbow trout, and they're pretty good eating. So we're just gonna do this simple. We're just gonna put some Lowry's salt on them. That's one of our favorite fish seasonings. And we're just gonna do a little bit of butter. So it should be pretty simple. And I'll just show you where you fry them too. I like using cast iron. So, although we don't have a good season on our pan right now. But that will be okay. We're just going to put some butter in the pan and start frying. If you want them to crisp up really nice, you can put flour on them. But you want to season your fish first because the salt will go in to the actual fish. When you cook it, and then you flour them after you season them. I like to put a little bit on the skin, but most of it in that cavity.
The butter. Whoa, it's melting. Like, whoop.
You don't want them to get too hot. We're just going to get it a little bit. We're going to get it a little bit. We're going to melt it, and then we're going to turn our heat down after. You don't want to burn the butter. And when you flip them, a lot of times the skin will stick if your pan's not seasoned like mine wasn't anyways. You want to try and get that skin off, and then skin came off there. Right there, that's ideal. You want the skin to be on. Most people peel the skin off anyways, but you can eat the skin as well. Rainbow trout have pretty small scales, so you can eat the scales even. You don't even have to scale them. But most of the time I peel the skin off unless it's good and crispy. And with doing them the way I'm doing them, it's not going to be super crispy. You can also eat the tails. It's like a little fish potato chip. If I can get it to fry good enough, it'll be crispy. these trout, the way you tell that they're done is if they flake apart. So you can see that flakes apart, so that's done. So with the fillet, it's really easy to tell because it won't have any gelled up meat in it. It'll all be flaky. Okay, so those are done. Now, with the other trout, with the whole trout, you got to break it off the bone to see if they're done. If it flakes off the bone like that, your trout's done. So that one's done. I'm guessing this is about the same size trout. It's flaking off the bone as well. Let me get started. Should be pretty well done. Luke, what are you eating?
Fish.
Huh? How do you like that trout?
Not a bone.
Is it pretty good?
Mm-hmm. Bone wants.
What about you, Cody?
Bone.
It's almost gone.
Please subscribe to your YouTube channel, watch other of our videos, and have fun. Goodbye.